Well, good afternoon. My name is Will Lawson, the Will Lawson Show, and we're doing this short video to make our commentary on the Ray Rice, uh, Baltimore Ravens, NFL, Roger Goodell story known. What the position of the Will Lawson Show is on this, because it's a little different. It's a little different than what you think. It's a little different than what everybody else is saying, and I think that me being a person, a child that grew up in a house with domestic violence, I've got the child understanding of it. I've got what it's like to grow up in that kind of house, what it's like to be afraid all the time, to be to be in fear uh, of the safety of your mom and your own safety, as as a little kid who's helpless. So I really understand what the whole idea is about, and have done some studying as an adult about the what the effects and what happens and why things happen. And so I think I have a little different um, perspective other than the bloodlust, and that's what it is, the bloodlust that exists on the internet about domestic violence and about what Ray Rice and the institution of the National Football League and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about here today. We're going to talk about here today um, a little bit about what we know happened, or we think that we know happened, and people's reaction to it, and what's happening, and what in my view should be happening, and who the real victim here is. I think that all that has been lost. All that's been lost. Unless you've been living under a rock, or living in a tree, Wi-Fi here as of late. You've heard in the past couple of weeks the Ray Rice saga. Ray Rice was a running back for the Baltimore Ravens, number 27 for the Baltimore Ravens, and in March was involved in a confrontation with his then fiance, Janae Palmer, I believe her maiden name was, and and they were in a hotel casino elevator, and apparently there was some security video of him dragging her out. She was obviously unconscious, and her dress was pulled up over her butt. They say I've not seen the video. I don't. There isn't any reason for me to see the video. But somehow this week TMZ Sports, like TMZ has a sports department that we give a crap about. Really, seriously. Anyway, came out and said, with the rest of the video. Now in March this happened, and the NFL, who has supposedly seen this video and had talked to Janae um, and Ray Rice and all the people concerned, and decided that a 2-game suspension was what he was going to get. Now, at the very same time, understand that the state of New Jersey did not charge Ray Rice with a crime. Forget that he got off, or that he had lawyers that got him off, and on a technicality. None of that happened. He was never charged with a crime. Forget being convicted of a crime. He was never charged of crime. Okay. Now the video, the rest of the security video came out this week, because of TMZ Sports, and shows the confrontation that happened inside the elevator. And there seems to be, and I've seen just brief snippets of it. There was an argument going on, and Ray Rice punched Janae Palmer. Janae Palmer is her maiden name, and in that punch, caused Janae to be unconscious, which is why you see him dragging her out in that unceremonious fashion. Now, all this being awful, I think that we need to get back to the baseline. All of this being awful between them, and the reaction between all this being terrible. Um, what exacerbates the horror of it and the terribleness of it, in my eyes, is this: the bloodlust that has come up because these videos have hit the internet, and no, and I had access to them, and I could have put them in this video so you could see them for yourself. Not going to. Not going to. There won't be any trailer at the end of this video that shows what happened, so you can decide for yourself. You know what? If you want to find a video, I mean, hell, we're on YouTube. You can find it if you want to find it. Not a big deal. It's out there. You can see it if you want. If you're interested in seeing a man punch a woman in the face and knocking her out, um, I don't. You know what? I don't know which is worse. Um, I guess being knocked out is worse. In any case, the idea is that I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to be somebody else who puts that out there so people can see and make snide comments about it and laugh about it. I'm just not going to do it. This is why, again, this is different than a lot of other stuff. So what we're doing here is we're going to talk about that. Now that we know that, and we know that Ray Rice was never charged, he was never charged with a crime, let alone being convicted of a crime. The NFL, Roger Goodell, gave Ray Rice a 2-game suspension. Now, now here's what a lot of people don't know. The NFL didn't have a domestic violence policy until now. They do now, but they didn't have one because normally these kind of things have to be negotiated with the Players Association before the NFL can just decide, oh yeah, you punched your girlfriend, so we're going to give you a year. We're going to ban you for life. That's just not that's just not how it works. It doesn't work that way anywhere, especially where there are unions involved. It just doesn't work that way. Roger Goodell, who is the commissioner of the NFL, doesn't have king authority. I think that in this culture, we're looking for people who are, quote, in charge to have king authority. We're looking for Barack Obama to have king authority, which means that whenever something happens, he makes a decision and makes it happen. I think a lot of people are upset with Barack Obama because he's finally realizing that he doesn't have king authority, that he's not the king. And that Roger Goodell, although he's commissioner of the NFL, what that means is that he is put, and again, a lot of people who are involved, who are getting involved in this don't really don't get any of it. Roger Goodell was hired by the owners to manage the affairs of the league. He is not the boss of the owners or the players. I think a lot of people don't really get that. He is not the boss of the players. He has been hired by the owners of this franchise called this whole big franchise organization called the National Football League to manage the affairs of the league, so they don't have to. He works for them, and part of that is that the owners have come up with rules and regulations that they and their players have to go by, and one of the arbiters of that is Roger Goodell. Now, and I think it's important that we put all that into proper perspective. Now, again, TMZ Sports got a hold of the other part of the video, and that happened in an elevator showing Ray Rice punching Janae Palmer and knocking her out at this casino elevator. The Baltimore Ravens, the team that he played for, immediately cut Ray Rice at that point. That means that he got fired from the team. There's still 3 years left on his contract, but they said, we don't have to pay it. We don't care, because apparently in their eyes, Ray Rice violated a policy of theirs that deemed him to be able to be cut without any recompense. That's the nature of the NFL. Forget that they had signed a legally binding contract, but because of Ray Rice's actions, the Baltimore Ravens cut Ray Rice, even with 3 years left on his contract. And then just a few hours later, the National Football League decided that they would, because of these actions and the new evidence, that they would suspend Ray Rice indefinitely. And as the week went on, they have now banned Ray Rice for life from participating in the NFL. Now, that would seem to be enough for most people, right? Ray Rice is the person at fault, committed the act, correct? He indeed did punch. I mean, there's There's no denying that he punched Janae Palmer in her face and knocked her out. That is um, indisputable, and there's indisputable evidence showing it. That's not even the point anymore. The bloodlust that came after Ray Rice in this incident has worked. The bloodlust wants the offender to be ruined, not just to be punished, but to be ruined. And they're sure the people who are in bloodlust or whomever screws up one, and especially if that person happens to be wealthy, happens to be wealthy. That's the deal. If they happen to have money, then the bloodlust, those in the mob want that person to be brought down to their level or under their level, and they will only be happy when that happens. Well, you would seem that the NFL, in a very Pontius Pilate way, has washed their hands of Ray Rice, and now he is on your level. He is amongst the 10.6% of black people, black men who are unemployed today. So now he is at your level. Now, he is in a free fall financially. It will be just months probably before he is actually at your level, but he is plummeting because he has no job to your level. And I trust that everyone will be happy when that happens, when we find out that Ray Rice and Janae Rice are on public assistance. And I think that, and then you'll be happy. Then when he, you know what, is ordering off the dollar menu at McDonald's, when you see him in Baltimore, I guess then you'll be happy. But the answer is no, you won't be happy, because the bloodlust continues, because there's no satisfaction. And now people are going after Roger Goodell, who is the commissioner of the National Football League, because of his handling of the Ray Rice situation. There's blood in the water, and the sharks are circling, and they won't be happy until there are more victims, because they think they're themselves a victim. They want more blood because they believe that somehow that they are a victim. If you can't get the person somehow that committed the offense, you got to get the people who you think are involved and or let him get away with it. So they're after Roger Goodell's job. The National Organization for Winners, women are after Roger Goodell's job because of the handling of this. There's a group of congressional women who have been outside this argument forever and ever. You know what? It'd be different. It'd be different if in March, when this happened, and especially June when it came out, the National Organization for Winners and this group of congressional women would have come out and been calling for change and justice for Janae. Then that'd be different. I think I'd have a lot more respect for them. But now, as we're at the end of the process, and what they want to happen won't help domestic violence one damn bit. Firing Ray Rice, getting Ray Rice out of the league does not help. Let me help you. Does not help the cause of domestic violence and the protection of women from said violence at all. It just doesn't help. There isn't anything, there's nothing that connects those two things together. And especially if today we hear, or tomorrow we hear, that Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, has resigned, that doesn't make one woman in this country tonight on Friday night safer from their boyfriend or husband who comes home drunk and whips her ass simply because she's there. There you go. It doesn't. It doesn't move the cause to protect these women from these abusive relationships, or anybody who's in an abusive relationship. It doesn't help anything. It's movement for movement's sake. It's the National Organization for Women getting themselves back into the spotlight after they've been out of the spotlight for a while. It's these congressional women that are running for office to get them back in the spotlight, to get them an issue to run on. It's to aggrandize themselves. It's not justice for Janae. Please don't think this is, all this action that you're seeing and all this outrage that you're seeing has anything to do, let me help you, anything to do with justice for Janae. If anybody gave a damn about Janae Rice, oh, that's right, she married the guy after he punched her in her face. Not surprising if you understand the behavior. I mean, abused spouse or abused partner syndrome. Not so amazing, really. And I know a lot of you are saying, I don't know why she did it. That seems crazy to me. Well, because it just should show you how little about what's happening you really understand or know anything about. And she gets on Instagram the other day and posts this big "Stand by Your Man" diatribe, and you guys are freaking out somehow that um, why does she do that? Because you don't understand what the hell you're talking about and commenting on. You don't have any earthly idea. It's pretty typical behavior. It's truly not unexpected. And I'll tell you why. Because what Janae Rice is trying to do is trying to tell the guy who might punch her in the face again tonight, um, or kick her or push her down a flight of steps, is that she is really on his team. That she is doing all she can, out loud and in public, to let everybody know that she's still on the Ray Rice team. She's doing that as an act of self-preservation. Typical behavior. Typical behavior. So again, a lot of you who've been commenting on this don't know anything about, have never grown up in a house that way, don't really understand it at all, are coming at it from this high mountaintop of morality. Crap. So that's what's going on here. And firing Roger Goodell or the NFL firing him or him resigning doesn't protect one single woman. You know, I mean, because there's this whole idea that we need to bring awareness to this. Well, who the hell doesn't know that this is a problem? Where are you to think that domestic violence is on the back burner and nobody knows it's happening? It's happening in somebody's house every day. It's happening right now. Somebody is getting abused right now. There are women's shelters in your area where you live. When's the last time you did anything? Do you feel good about this hashtag? You know, this hashtag activism that you're planning here. Fire Goodell on Twitter, and if it happens, you feel like you've done something for to protect women. Well, let me help you. You haven't done a damn thing. You have done nothing. Because as you're posting that, some woman is getting the crap kicked out of her by her drunken boyfriend. Some women's shelter is still going without basic needs. They're still going without the basic toiletries that they need. They're still going without a lot of things. Now, if you really are interested, and my whole point of this is that if you're really interested in helping women that are suffering abuse from their spouse, or anyone who's suffering abuse from their spouse or their partner, is that there are a number of shelters in your area. Find out where they are. Find out where they are. Do something. Actually do something other than hang out on YouTube like you are now, or on Twitter or on Facebook. Actually freaking do something. And make sure that you can donate the things they need. Most of the time, what they need is toiletries, and they need used these cell phones, especially for the women who are going back out, who are leaving the shelter and going back out, because even if the cell phone's not hooked up, most of them will reach 911. That's what they need. They need cell phones in usable shape and good chargers. That's what they need. So do that, and basic toiletry needs and needs for their children that often are in these shelters with them. That's what you do if you want to really stop, or you really want to help women who have been battered by their boyfriends or their spouses. That's what you do. You know what? Going on the internet and asking for Roger Goodell's job is not going to make one woman safer tonight. Not one. So what are we all about? All right, thanks for watching, and tune into the Will Austin Show on Blog Talk Radio, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you like what we do, go ahead and become a patron of the Will Austin Show. This video is on patreon.com. That's Patreon. That's www.patreon.com /WL show. You can find us. You can find us there, and you can become a sponsor of the show, a patron of the show. We really appreciate it as we produce more of these kind of videos and more podcasts on Blog Talk Radio. Thank you again. We'll see you soon. Just remember, just like always, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you.